military inside of Lebanon. It's Lebanon. It's not Israel. Israel's Israel. Lebanon's Lebanon. And so when you see this incursion taking place, when I see the bombs going off previously in Daya and Tur, which is Sur and in Arabic, and you have all of these conflagrations, it's just like the memorandum of understanding is very clear. It's undisputed. Israel needs to get out of Lebanon. That's what it says. The United States has its obligations as well. And, look, if Israel's in Israel and then there are attacks on Israel, then you can respond. But you're in another country right now. And now the United States of America continues to suffer. It seems that the ceasefire, has all but fallen apart. I mean, we'll see what's going on today. But as I'm recording this, there is no longer any meetings taking place between J.D. Vance, the United States delegation, and Iran. And one of the things that was supposed to happen today, which I thought was productive and constructive, is that leaders from the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency, they were supposed to be meeting in Switzerland as well. They were going to get into technical discussions. And again, I mean, it's obvious the MOU was a surrender document by the United States, but the United States lost the war. We should never have been involved in this catastrophic and unlawful war in the first place. But given all of the options, this deal was the only option that actually made sense. I was, as you know, rooting for this deal to actually take place, although I knew, given the players, Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, and how weak they are and how they're unable to control Netanyahu, despite J.D. Vance, saying all of these things yesterday. And here we are right now. The meeting has been canceled. The ceasefire seems to be collapsing. The talks that were planned tonight and throughout the day between the U.S. and Iran and Bergenstock Mountaintop Resort in Switzerland will not take place. This was the statement that was given from J.D. Vance, but J.D. Vance gave this statement after we first heard from the Iranians, and the Iranians told Al Mayadeen that the Iranian negotiating delegation will postpone its trip to Switzerland due to the ongoing Israeli aggression out of southern Lebanon, and they have no interest in having discussions while that's all going on. Here's what we learned, what was actually just taking place. Israeli airstrikes on residential areas in southern Lebanon have killed at least 28 people and wounded many more, with attacks reported in Haruf, Kfar Sir, Al-Sariq, and Katrani in the Nabateh district. At least 2 people were killed and 2 wounded in Katrani and Haruf. The attacks came as Hezbollah said it confronted an Israeli advance toward Kfar Tamnit, claiming to have destroyed 3 Merkava tanks and struck several military vehicles near the Ali al-Tahar hill right there. And so you just have the death toll continuing to mount in suburban areas also of Lebanon right now. And again, the memorandum of understanding was very, very clear, not on a lot of things, but on that term they were. Remember, earlier yesterday morning, I was reporting on it. Israel released a map showing what it was claiming its security zone, where it says its forces are operating in Lebanese territory and that it will not leave. It will not abide by the memorandum of understanding. Okay, I mean, so what are you going to do about it, Trump and J.D. Vance? You spent the day talking tough. What are you actually going to do about it? Because let me tell you what the American people are doing right now. We, the American people, are absolutely suffering as a result of this. People are not going to be able to make it to the next month. People can't eat. They can't afford gas. They can't afford groceries. And this MOU, as horrible as it is, as a surrender document as it is, it was a hope that people would be able to maybe be able to just afford something down the road. That apparently is not happening right now. Oh, the J.D. Vance statement. Sorry, going back to that. This is what Vance put out.
Looks like Israel doesn't want peace. They're all out about it. We all knew that, guys. Right? I mean, who are we joking? This all has to do with Israel. The Greater Israel Project. The Zionism. Right? No, it's not about Iran teaching a good lesson, buddy. Don't be ignorant. It's about Zionism, brother. It's about Zionism and how they want to just take over the whole world. It's what it's about, really. So don't be ignorant. It has nothing to do with the USA. It's about how just Zionism just trying to just spread its whole tentacles all throughout like the rest of the Middle East right now, and they're trying to find right now as a, pretty much just they're finding this as a last ditch effort with Trump. They couldn't do it with Biden. They couldn't do it with Obama. So they're trying to do it with Trump. So I don't know. I don't know what happened. I was baffled too because Trump was all about it, and then when Trump said no, I was like, oh okay, wow, okay. So what's gonna happen now? I was surprised. Honestly, I was surprised because I know Trump was all about it. Am I for it? No, I'm not. I'm not for it, dude. I'm never for war. I'm there for war. That's not our mess, dude. That the Middle East. That's your guys' fucking problem over there. I've said that years ago. Years ago. Years ago. That's not our fucking problem, man. It has nothing to man. That's their fucking problem. Israel wants to fucking start shit over there. Let them fucking handle it, man. Let them. They want to fucking do that. Let them fucking handle it. You fuck around. You find out. Let them suffer those fucking consequences, whatever, man. I don't give a fuck, dude. Seriously, that's my stance on it. You know, for fucking decades, decades. BB's been coming over here harping. Oh, they have weapons of mass destruction. Because of him, his fucking dude, we got into Iran and all that shit. They're the ones that are giving all that fucking bullshit, saying that weapons of mass destruction and all that shit, man. You know what I mean? Look what happened. Neocons were all about it, man. Neocons are still all about it. So, we'll see what happens today, right? It's all financial war, anyways. So, right now, as we look, crypto suffering because of the Fed. Stock market's not open yet. It's still 5:55 in the morning, so not till 6:30. The ticker bell won't hit, so we'll find out. Right? I got 2 likes. Thank you. 8 people on. I was just listening to these guys. I'm not.
Technical talks have not been finalized, and the U.S. delegation has been prepared to depart at the first available opportunity. But the logistics of these negotiations have never been simple or predictable. As of now, the Vice President is not departing tonight. We will let you know as soon as we have concrete updates about the next steps. We look forward to beginning technical talks. So what the hell are you even talking about? Technical, dude, you're just making up stupid word salad right there. There's deals or no deals. This even idea of a memorandum of understanding to lead to technical talks, that's not even a freaking thing. You know what the JCPOA is that you all want to attack and talk about over and over again? Obama was an actual deal. It was hundreds of pages, thousands of pages long with specific details, implementation, like lots of provisions that talked about how it would go down, and it was effective and working. And all y'all wanted to do was rip that apart. And now here you are getting into a catastrophic and unlawful war with Netanyahu, who clearly can't be controlled, a genocidal maniac, what we're seeing in Gaza, who's leveling Lebanon right now, who's not going to stop because for him, he staked his entire career, his entire legacy is destroying Lebanon, destroying Gaza, and that's so obvious that now he feels that if this deal goes through, all of the Smootriches and Ben Gavirs and all of them, are going to hopefully be held accountable for their genocide and what they're doing. So they're not going to let this deal go forward. And boom, exactly what we predicted happened. And it is beyond angering to me that would take place. You have MB Ghalibaf, Iran's parliament leader, put out the following statement yesterday. We are at your command. The task assigned to us by the supreme leader is to pursue the realization of the conditions and clauses of the agreement. In the event of bad faith, breach of contract, and excessive demands by the opposing side, We have no hesitation in delivering a crushing response to the enemy. They were once slapped during the war. If they wish to tread that path again, they will receive an even harder slap. And here's the thing. Donald Trump showed all of his cards for the past 48 hours. He's been saying, we are out of gas. We are, quite literally, we're out of munitions. We have Hegseth doing an emergency request yesterday for $80 billion because the Defense Department can't pay its bills. We're out of munition, and we're quite literally out of petroleum reserves. We are at tank freaking bottom. And Donald Trump said, if this goes on another week, we are in a massive economic global depression. He said that at the G7. We all know he said that. I don't need to play the clips anymore. I don't want to hear his voice right now. It annoys me too much. But he said that. He also said we're at tank bottom. We will run out of gas in the next few weeks if this doesn't get resolved. And that's why he said he ultimately had to tap out and surrender, because we were about to head into the biggest massive economic depression. He would be Herbert Hoover, and we would all be screwed. So he's told that to Iran. He's told that to the world. He literally has shown his cards right now. So now what, Donald? Now what, JD? Now you just go silent? You don't show leadership? What the hell are you going to do about this? Because this is beyond unacceptable. There's not even words to capture what's happening right here. As Ryan Grimm said, I've never heard of a country invading a neighbor and then calling it unfair that their soldiers died in that invasion. I don't think any other country ever thought to make that complaint. On top of that, Israel now wants to retaliate for its soldiers being killed while invading their neighbor. It's pure madness. Just leave Lebanon. And you have Mark Levin and all of these neocon hawks and Netanyahu puppets out there saying Hezbollah launched an attack tonight in which 4 Israeli soldiers were essentially incinerated. I assume Israel will hit back very hard. No MOU or final agreement will change who these terrorists are. Their whole plan is to get rid of the MOU. Isn't it beyond obvious? Isn't that exactly what I was warning about yesterday that they were going to do? And here they are doing it. And as I said, there were things that were at least moving in the right direction yesterday. The UKMTO, the United Kingdom Maritime Organization, issued a new maritime advisory telling ships the Strait of Hormuz is now open and that the blockade operations will cease. We started to see ships going out. We started to see some movement taking place. I mean, nothing dramatic, but things were at least heading in the right direction. We just want to return to normalcy. No more of these wars. No more of this stuff. Go back to Israel. Be in Israel. We need a 2-state solution. There needs to be a Palestine. We need to stop the genocide in Gaza. Let Lebanon live. Lebanon it's a sovereign country. Let sovereign countries exhibit their sovereignty. What are we even doing here? What are we talking about? And I think about all the innocent people who Netanyahu killed last night. Over and over again, since the ceasefire, he's killed 1,000 people in Gaza, 3,000, 4,000 people over the past few months in Lebanon. What in the world is going on? I mean, just let's be human here for a second. Let's be human here for a second. What in the world is going on? Oh, and then Donald Trump was on Axios yesterday, and this is what the guy in Axios asked him. Caputo, what have you learned about the limits on your power as a result of the Iran conflict? Well, look at this idiotic answer. Play this clip.
Not just the exercise of power, but the limits on your power as a result of the conflict.
There are no limits.
No,
I haven't learned that lesson yet. I know there are, but there are no limits. We defeated them totally militarily.
Who the hell are these people? I mean, seriously, who are these freaking humans? Donald Trump, these are the worst freaking people ever. Then Caputo goes, at the beginning, you said that there would be unconditional surrender. This doesn't sound like unconditional surrender. What do you say about that, Donald? Here's what he says.
Run to the table more than before. However, beginning a conflict, you had talked about you only wanted unconditional surrender. And, well, the MOU doesn't look like unconditional surrender.
Well, it really probably is unconditional surrender.
It is?
I think so.
You know, and again, this is absolutely ridiculous. To say this is a failure of leadership is an understatement. There is no leadership here. This is rudderless. These are chickens with their heads cut off running around here like a bunch of damn idiots. We have a bunch of idiots in the White House, and it just pisses me off. Pissed off. There's no words right now for how angry I am at these people. we'll keep reporting on the news.
I usually don't listen to that guy.
While you're waiting for support to reply,
I want to listen to what
your
he
money
said.
is already
I listen
moving.
to everything I
It's
said.
been converted, split across dozens of wallets,
I usually don't listen
and
to that guy,
partially
but
cashed out.
like I said,
That's not a guess. That's their
listen to
standard
everything.
exit strategy. The people who did this know one thing.
Trump into the White House have decided to turn current events into a test of Jewish power. And what I mean by that is that this is a test of just how much power they wield, how far they can go, and what they can achieve. I think that's a mistake because I think their power and influence is already disproportionate to what it ought to be, if it ought to be at all. But I think they've achieved enough in terms of enticing us into this war and then ultimately hurling us into the teeth of the enemy for them. I think they should take a different approach, but obviously I hold a minority opinion. I think they're going to try very hard to bully President Trump back into attacking Iran. I think that's where we're headed.
Saw the report by CNN today. Let me try to find it. But essentially says that, there it is. Netanyahu is reportedly lobbying to shape
but I bet you we don't have the same spot right here, do we?
Including by pressuring Trump through allies and intermediaries in Washington.
I just woke up in the same shirt, by the way. So don't fault me for that.
Which, by the way, I don't know how these guys.
Let me turn it down a little bit, Steve. Steve Bano, thank you for coming back, by the way. Appreciate it, man.
But let's skip that. Another story.
I commented. Yeah, dude, we do have the same haircut, man. How you doing, buddy?
Changes to the terms of the final deal.
Yeah. Well, I was hopeful, man, but man, you know, I know it was.
We will restore security to the north. That requires keeping the security zone in southern Lebanon and not leaving as long as Israel's security.
Yeah, you know, man.
In other words, Netanyahu is rallying all the supporters.
There's never going to be peace in the Middle East, guys. I've come to a conclusion on that a long time ago. A long time ago, unless something happens.
I wish I could give you a resounding.
And even then, that's not going to be peace.
I think so.
Okay.
I think he and the Iranians have collectively reached the point where they see no point.
It's like the Godfather 3. Remember that one part when he's in the kitchen? And Al Pacino goes, just when I thought I was done, they just drag us back in. You know?
Two things. Number one, he did not want a war with Iran. I mean, being perfectly frank about that. He didn't see the need for it. He was confident that some sort of arrangement could be reached.
We need this shit fucking settled, man. Just fuck, dude.
Conveyed to me the
Either
impression that this was not somebody who wanted to go to war with anyone. That was really.
You have a scar on your left thigh for being hit in the head by a baseball. Ooh, ouch. Was that by accident? I hope that wasn't on purpose. Oh, this one's alopecia or whatever it's called. I can't pronounce it. That whatever that is, where you lose your hair. Yeah, I seen that thing is stress related because back in 2023, I was really stressed out. Kind of like the same thing's going on right now. And I started having it. I thought I was over here on this side actually, right? And I kind of started growing my hair out a little bit. I didn't really get a haircut actually. I didn't get a haircut until I saw my boy for like, for like what? Almost 5 years, I guess. Anyways, I saw the dermatologist. Sorry, and they shot me with a couple of shots of cortisone. You know, I went on 3 separate occasions, and I didn't have to go on the 4th one. So it's here and somewhere in the back. So I have 2 spots also again. I have one here in the back here, right next to my bald spot. And actually, I think he hit my bald spot too. So I got one here and I got one here. Well, yeah, he'd rather be that. So were you mugged or something? I mean, can I ask? How'd that go about? Were you jumped, mugged or something? That sucks, man. Sorry to happen. That happened, dude. Fuck. Yeah. It could have been a knife too, dude. You know, shit that happened kind of pisses me off, dude. I know they do those videos and shit for reaction and shit, and shit. People get emotional and they just speak out of their emotions, and I don't think they really think what they're saying. But you know, whatever. Uh, right. I don't know how people can afford DoorDash, man. I swear to God, dude. I seen how much do you have to pay for that shit to get delivered? I mean, just for me, just paying just, and I ain't play Uber because Uber is more expensive. I used to pay for oh, a Lyft, and that added up quick. So that's why I take public transportation now. I'm gonna look up. I'm looking up some like new stocks that I might like think of. Instacart. Those seem to like yeah. I do my homework like that. I go in the morning and just kind of look at things in Instacart. Some might be private, so I just like look on the internet or on Google. You have to go outside, huh? Earning potential average earning typical range of $15 to $30 an hour. Uh, rewards to microtext apps, slash bucks, inbox dollars, and profilic. I had a small conflict with my Italian father. Ooh, all right, that was a family thing. Yeah, those tend to be the worst. Actually, passionate ones, huh? Sorry to hear that, man. That can get hot and heated, right? Ay, ay, ay. There's a couple of times my dad wanted, like, but I'm bigger than my dad, and I think he stopped himself a couple of times because he saw it in my face. I would never hit him, dude. I wouldn't. But he's, you know, we got into some heated words in the past when I was young. Do you have Robinhood or stocks for stock? No, dude. I have Webull for stock trading. And the reason I went to Webull was because I was trying to open Coinbase for crypto. I was trying to open Coinbase for crypto through my buddy, and for whatever reason, dude, during the verification, it just wasn't going through. Wasn't I mean for weeks. I mean, dude, almost a month even into it. Because by that time, I opened a Webull account, and it was like a matter of like not even hours, I think it was, and I was able to like was ready to go. So yeah, I was ready to go, and I started buying like crypto. I'm like, oh okay, it's like, and I was playing around with the crypto there, and then I noticed that stocks, so I was on the light version of theirs, and I'm like, okay, and I started playing around, and for me, the stocks made a little bit more sense than actually crypto at that moment and stuff. At that time, should I say, like like about 4 months ago or so. So I started, going into the stock market a little bit. I mean, I did my homework. through social media and YouTube and just watching. That's all I do every morning. And then in night, I wake up really early. I wake up like 2, 3 in the morning and I watch the Asian reports. I start with that. I go to sleep watching the European reports, and should I say, um, the business reports, and I watch the Asian markets, and then I'll start watching the free morning reports, and then I so then going back to what you were saying, then I went on Kraken for crypto. Don't buy stocks on GPUS. It doesn't shoot up high until 2028. Okay, no problem, dude. It doesn't shoot up high until 2028. Let me look it up. I was all about like SpaceX, and I started listening about like like doing the and then doing my homework about the losses and everything. And really, honestly, it wasn't SpaceX. I wanted to do Starlink. I see Starlink as really the future of the internet, right? And hear me out. I see the next stage of the internet being Starlink because the satellites and phones. I'm seeing how they're making the connection of what they want to do with satellite phones. Going from 5G and all the antennas, but they actually want to start using so they can directly your cell phones to satellites. So that would be the no more SIM cards. So that's what I'm seeing. So I'm looking at that as an investment. But right now, the IPOs and everything, I might just wait up like 6 to 8 months, maybe to next year probably on SpaceX, because Elon was actually very smart how he did this. He put all three you know companies together: SpaceX, he did Starlink, and Grok, his AI, which two of them were you know two of the three were like major like losses in the last couple of years. And the IPOs, how they work, how they start off, and like how people aren't going to be able to sell them 7%, and then like some long. So there you go. So yeah, it's gone up to like $200. So it didn't go as high as 1,000 ago. Do the opposite of what I say. You're my brother. Well, no problem, dude. I mean, I listen to everything, brother. I mean, regardless, information is information, right? Weren't we talking about that the other day? I take information as it is. Like I said, I was listening to that guy from Midas Touch. You know, I listen to everything, bro. Information, everything. I don't argue. I'm like, I listen to what you're saying. Don't buy the stocks. And I don't even know what the stock GPU. I'm gonna look it up right now. Hold on, let me write this down. I'm writing down. I'm doing homework right now. But keep talking, bro. I don't mind. I like having conversations with you. By the way, I'm glad you came back. So that means you follow me. So I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Let's see. It's a lot better than just having trolls. And I don't mind trolls, man. It's just the annoying ones. The annoying ones are just so. I can tell they're like 7-year-old kids, man. And even sometimes the 7-year-old kids are like smarter than like the teenage ones. It'd be sad, dude. If it's like some adult being a troll like that, oh god, dude, I'd feel so sorry for those people. But whatever, dude. If that makes them happy, I guess so. I'm happy to make a troll happy online. Inbox dollars. I've never heard of these companies. I bet you a lot of these are private. Ooh, my thing just strode up. And Prolific. I've heard of that company. Anyways, I'm looking at like small companies like that. Anyways, what were you saying, brother? Oh, GPU US. All right. But I am looking to venture out to like different. I've been thinking of doing Robinhood. I have a friend, my neighbor. He's just Robinhood for everything. The thing with Robinhood was, remember that one time when that stuff happened with GameStop and AMC when they were shorting it, the hedge funds or whatever, and they stopped it. And Robinhood was one of those platforms. They just stopped it. They weren't letting people like buy or whatever. And I'm like, dude, what the hell? It's like, well, I learned from that to want to make my crypto. You know what I mean? So that's why I got myself a cold wallet. So that way, just on Kraken, I just hold whatever on a stake. Whatever coins I'm on stake there, and then whatever I want to keep. I have them here. I don't have a lot, just whatever, a little bit to keep my beak wet. You know what I mean? For now, till I have a till I have a stable economic. What do you call it? So my situation is more stable. But I want to learn, and I'm like teaching myself how to invest and everything and stuff like that. Something I should have learned 30, 20 years ago at least, when I used to just, be a kid and just my check, just went into something I didn't know what it was. You know what I mean? It went into these funds. And then when I would quit that job or whatever, I would just like pull everything out and I'd have $8,000. Like, oh, I have $8,000 instead of investing it back into an IRA, at least an IRA where, I can like keep it there for a while and then move into something else. Yeah. Yeah. I was ignorant, bro. I was real ignorant. Anyways, okay. What did you say again? Gee, I gotta shave, man. I'm real itchy. GPUS. Hyperscale? Is that what it is? No, I know. Cryptocurrency is, brother. I know it is. I know it is. I know it is. But here's the thing, dude. Aren't they? Here's the thing. They wanna tokenize, and they are gonna tokenize. They don't want to. They are, and they have been actually. I've noticed stuff that I haven't seen. Like not all like platforms have it, but on my cold wallet, I've seen that there's a coin for BlackRock. BlackRock has their own coin already. I mean, they actually did have because the USDC whatever coin by Circle, they're backed by BlackRock already. So that being said, Mr. Kinsey, BlackRock's got their own coin. So all these banks are gonna have their own. Like SoFi, they're talking already doing their stable coin, whatever, blah blah blah. Anyways, Hyperscale Data Inc. is their surface. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce. Diversifying holding company through its wholly owned and subsidiary company owns and operates data center which mines digital assets, offers colocation hosting services for the emerging artificial intelligence ecosystem, and the company segments include energy and infrastructure, energy technology. Okay, so it's an AI company that runs data centers. Is that what I'm reading? Owns and operates data center. Okay. Turn on green, RI, audit, global, real estate, equities, green, commercial, Centium. The Centium segment is engaged in crypto assets, mining operations. Okay. Okay. And there would be, was supposed to nothing but the truth and wasn't taught. So I'm looking at the earnings. Second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, first quarter. Oh, they're all pretty high. They're, they show high. Okay, I'm sorry. So I'm looking at. Let me look at the graph. Now it's dropped. So 58 cents at startup, and it stopped at 30. Right now, it's dwindling at 26 cents. Anyways, let's read up what you're saying here. Let me put you on the screen over here on my so I can read the comments. All right, here's a camera on my phone, but it's real small. Yeah, do 500 shares of EPS and keep it as long term. Okay. All right, brother. Thanks for the hint, man. I appreciate it. So let me write it down before I forget. Okay. Let me highlight it. Yeah, actually, you know what, dude? I have it highlighted for some reason. I must have read it somewhere. See his little heart? There's a little heart there. All right. I have it. I have it highlighted for something. GPUS 500 shares, huh? All right. Well, thank you, man. Yes, cryptocurrency, bro. I know, dude. And right now, it's in your opinion, bro, how much lower do you think it's gonna drop? I mean, I did know if they said about the Fed, if the Fed goes up, inflation. I mean, if it stays the same or goes up, the stocks are gonna go up, the inflation's gonna go up, but crypto's gonna go down, right? Is that what I'm understanding? And I mean, right now, because the news that came out, like there was really no word, but they said you're gonna keep it the same the other day. That's why crypto's kind of been going, right now, and everything follows Bitcoin. I've learned that already. I mean, it's no secret. You look at the graphs, it's like you look at Bitcoin, right? You look at Bitcoin, and it's like, dude, everything is identical to Bitcoin, right? Everything's identical to Bitcoin, right? Everything's identical to Bitcoin. So, okay. So right now, Bitcoin's at 62,790 right now, and here's the graph, right? So let's just click on Ethereum just for shits and giggles. Or no, no, it's Cosmo. It's Ethereum. It's pretty much the same. And that's at 16 now. Dropped. That was 17 earlier. But I don't know. Let's see Stellar. See what I mean? So I've known that. I mean, everything goes by what Bitcoin does. You got GPUS at 11 cents, and I have 8,000 shares for a long term hold. Right on, dude. How did you hear about it, by the way, if you don't mind me asking? Because I'm curious now how I heard about it. Because, yeah, like I said, I hear a lot of stuff, and I just like, I'll highlight it. I'll go, I'll do my homework. I'll go online and read up on it, and then I'll get something on it's most likely it's probably like on I follow a lot of people on Instagram, and then from then I'll check it out on YouTube or just whatever, or on the financial reports even. They'll say something. What was a good one actually that I did like actually? For example, let me go on Webull because I'm big on tech. I love tech. Um, Annette, Annette, I remember it was like 3 days before it was on Fox Financial Report, and they were talking about stocks, and that big dude. I don't know if you watch Fox. It was that big dude and that young lady. They were talking, and they're like, "Oh, what about this?" And like, "Oh yeah," it's like in Anet, ANET, Arista Network Inc. Right? Um, and I jumped on it when I was at 128. Right now, it's gone down. It's at 169. They didn't put a lot of money. In fact, I've taken money out. Like I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't do. I know I shouldn't do that, but it's like that's what I do. I put some money in there, and it goes up, and I'm like, oh, I'll just take some. I shouldn't do that, but I'm still like so low that I can always put money in it, right? But I shouldn't do that. I got out of that practice. That was a bad thing, and I learned that I learned that bad habit from crypto because I'm like, oh, it's like, oh, I made a profit. Let me like, pull some money Now I shouldn't do that with stocks. Stocks are like, for me, pops stocks are like to hold, and so crypto. I have some cryptos that are for hold, and some are going to be just for profit, and that's what I'm doing with my cold wallet. They're going to be holding, but the ones I'm going to have like on the platforms, they're just going to be like, okay, when they get a certain level, I'm going to sell them, and then just when it goes back to a certain price, I'll buy some more again. You know what I mean? And then I stake what I stake, and like I said, I just staked some, and I saw how much I made. So what I had staked, I turned into another coin that I want. I bought 20 Bitcoin in 2020 at 6,000 per coin during the COVID lockdown. Oh, good for you, my man. Good for you. Want to hear a funny story? You want to hear a funny story? A funny story? Okay. Back in 2010, I heard about Bitcoin for the first time. So it was around 2010, 2011. I was really considering. Like, okay, but there back then there wasn't like too much like there is now, where you're like, oh, Bitcoin, blah, blah. Your own bank account can do it now, right? Pretty much, not yet, but pretty much what I'm trying to say. Apps, that's what I'm saying. Like now, an app, any app, you can go on a phone, and just about any app, you can buy it Bitcoin. So I couldn't find where I didn't really understand what Bitcoin was, but I knew it was something because it like, oh my God, it went up to like 30 something dollars or whatever, and it went up to whatever, right? And these guys that I used to work with, I was talking about it. That was my big mistake right there. That was my big mistake because I was trying to get information if everybody knew, because these guys always talk about the stock market. Oh, this stock market. I said, oh, crypto. Oh, dude, that's junk. That's nothing. Blah, 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 blah. All these old heads, right? Da 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 da. And like, it's a scam. It's a Ponzi scheme, dude. Don't waste your time. You're stupid, da da da. At that time, dude, I was making really good money working at San Onofre at the nuclear power plant. That used to be up here north of here in Orange County, San Diego. I'm on the borderline. So, to me, investing a couple thousand was no problem. So I was thinking of dropping $3,000. Back then, I don't remember what Bitcoin is. I don't remember what it was. Even if it dropped down to like 30 something dollars or whatever. That's why they were telling me, dude, look, it dropped down to 30. It's no good. Then it's going to drop down to zero. You're going to lose all your money. Look, imagine all these people that already like invested and they lost all their money because they thought it was going to go up higher, blah, 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 blah. Back then, bro. Back then. What could have been? And even 2020, like you said, even 2018, how much was it at 2018? I was still thinking about it, 2018. Back in 2018, I don't even want to tell you how much money I made back then. That's how much money I used to make. I don't even want to tell you. I don't anymore. I'm disabled now. I sit at home now, not making a dime. So it is what it is, right? I mean, there's a reason why, but it was ignorance, it was laziness, it was whatever. And now I'm trying to learn, But good for you, friend. Good for you, brother. Good for you. Let me ask you this though. How disappointed were you when after it went up to 125? Because I was happy. Actually, I was happy for everybody. I was happy for my friend. I was like, oh, I could have like back then when it went up to like 125. I was happy for my friend because I know a guy that I used to work with. That he invests, and he tell, oh yeah, every week, every paycheck. I don't care how much it costs, what it's valued at. I drop so much money. He says, I drop so much money, and if I make more, like depending what job I'm working, so much overtime, I add more to that. Just boom, 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 boom. I said, that's good. That's discipline. That's awesome. Good for you, brother. Bro, I hope for you, I hope that it does go up in 10 years or less, that it does go up to 1 million. That way my little scrap change goes to like, tens of thousands, I hope. That would come in handy, dude. You know what I would do? And I tell everybody the same thing, dude. I even like Steve will do it. I go on his videos on YouTube. See, we'll do it, and Togi, the other guy, his partner. Because they give away $50,000 or $10,000, whether they do for real or not. What would you do if I get my dude? You know what I would do? I'll say it right now, dude. I would actually, you know what? I would like personally go to back to the Philippines, and I would build my wife and my two sons the nicest, biggest house I could. That's just it. That's what I want. I just want to make her a nice house. That's what I want, man. I want to see that when I left, I just want to see that nice that look on her face that she had back in 2020. I got her a nice apartment back then. And it was a nice apartment. I mean, it was like, yeah, yeah. That's what I would do, bro. Yeah. And people say, "Oh, I'll do this. I'll take care of my parents." I mean, my parents are fine, bro. I mean, I'll take care of them, but yeah, I take care of my wife, my boys first, for sure. Me, yeah. I don't know what I'll get. I know what I would get. I told her, we built that house. It's gonna be 3 stories. There's gonna be 2 stories, and then on the third floor, there's gonna be like a little studio, right? With just it's gonna be a flat on top, and on the top, it's gonna be where I can have my little garden for my chili plants. It's gonna be covered also, in case when it rains or so I have shade. I'll have solar panels up there too. Um, and then in that room, I'll have my studio. That'll be my man cave. I'll have a nice TV. I'll have a nice desk with a nice chair, and I'll be able to do my live streams. I'll have a nice desktop, with a nice processor, with a couple, you know, those like the streamers that have those nice that have 3 or 4 screens I can watch, whatever. So you sold 15 coins at night. Well, you made some money, right? I sold 15 coins at 92. So from now on, I don't know. Hold on, dude. Listen to your own advice. I just get happy when I use my Cash App. I get happy when I use my Cash App and I get the what do you call it? I changed it to the roundups. I didn't realize how much I spend. I gotta cut that down. How much I spend a month. So what I'm gonna do with that, I'm gonna cut that in half and start saving that because I I wanna I wanna buy an e-bike, man. It is gonna save me a little bit. I do need the walking, but that means if I get the e-bike, I can go out further and longer, as opposed to keep my trips just at what do I do when I go out. But the I have the roundup, so whatever for every dollar I spend, it rounds it up to the next dollar, but it rounds it up in crypto. I mean in Bitcoin. So yeah, it was going good, man. I was almost caught up. Then it dropped. All right. Well, how'd you hear about it, by the way? I was just wondering. Yeah, I wonder how I heard it. Now I gotta see where I got that folder. It's on my watch list. Huh. Figures. I didn't know where to file it. Wait, so is this now speaking of? Is this related to hype? To the coin hype? Or am I like just linking those two without? Or not? Because there is another one with hype, isn't there? There's another, or that's an ETF. Let me put hype. No, that's the one. That's why. That's why. Okay. I did hear about that. I did hear about it just last week or this week, I think. That's why it sounds familiar. Because there's a hype PR, but that's not the same thing. Hyperfine. That's a health technology. Yeah, okay. Okay. All right, all right. Yeah, I did hear about this through somebody. You're right, my friend. Okay. Good call. All right. Thanks, bro. I like the way you think, my friend. Thank you. How old are you, Steve Banno, if you don't mind me asking, by the way? Let me see a picture. I can't see a picture on your thing. It doesn't matter, bro. All right, bro. Yeah, it's cheap enough. Right now it's at $35.90, man. All right, dude. Well, then I'll hmm. It's a little bit over my budget, bro. Right now. That's within my budget. But yeah. In the picture, I'm 33 years old. Oh, okay. Well, not that far apart. I mean, I am older. I'm 55. All right. I thought you were younger, bro. Then that tells me why you sound so mature. I thought you were a lot younger. Actually, I honestly thought you were like in your late 20s, mid to late 20s. Actually, in your picture, I just you know. Right on, man. And you say you're raised between New Jersey and New York, right? But I don't know. I always seem to get along with the guys from New Jersey. I'm not saying that you're from New Jersey, but you know, guys from New Jersey, like just like I don't know, they have like this vibe about them that I was like, yeah, they mesh well. They mesh well here in California, here in San Diego. The guys that I've met from New Jersey, yeah, they don't seem to have like that chip on their shoulder like New Yorkers do. Yeah, that's what my experience has been, anyways. I'm yeah, California, San Diego. Yeah, I'm on the lowest part of California. I'm right on the border. We're so close to Tijuana we can throw a stone to it. I still got like a drive to the border, but yeah. California Bear 619 is the area code of San Diego. Just so you know, that's where the 619 came from. I'm gonna make a tea. Don't mind me. All right, I got an upset stomach. Okay, turn the light on. How's the battery charge on this? It's still low. Probably plugged in. That's cool. I got every tea except for the one I really want right now. Chamomile tea. That helps upset stomachs. The entire West Coast used to be Mexico. Yeah, I know. I know, brother. I know. It used to be, but it's not, dude. It's America, dude. It's been America since I've been born, so that's the way I look at it. I'm an American. I'm of Mexican descent, but I'm an American, U.S. citizen. Okay, so Linden flower tea. I don't think it'll be spicy. So what happened in 1948 when the USA redrawed from the new border? So what happened when in 1948 when the USA redrawed the new border? The Mexican president, I think, somehow sold it. I think that's what happened. I don't know exactly the specifics. You know, there was a skirmish. There was people. What sucked was people got trapped. You know, the landowners and stuff. That's what sucked because those landowners. Oh well, yeah, the gold rush. You're right. I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. Greed. There you go. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Those are reason behind the madness, huh? You're right. You're right. Like always, right? Just like everything else in this world, right? Oh, you know, we're gonna democracy. We're gonna democracy for your minerals. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I wasn't thinking. I was thinking. I was thinking through history books. I wasn't thinking through economics. See how programmed I am sometimes. You know. You know, it's sad to say that you say it was the newest too, but I know what you're saying, the newest. So is it the old now? Is it over? I mean, are we done? Is it ever going to reach its heyday? Is it going to reach that threshold that we all are kind of hoping for? I mean, we're going to see it like back at 125. We're going to see it at 200, 250. You know? I mean, I see how this whole thing, you know, with the stable coin and everything, what the reasoning is, it's going to come in and stuff. The digital currency and stuff. But is there going to be a way for the little man to at least, like, make a living, you know? Not necessarily get rich or filthy rich or super rich. I mean, there's always a possibility, I guess, but even then, you know, I'm just saying. What do you think? Yeah, Bitcoin was the beginning of cryptocurrency, but now cryptocurrency is 24-hour running stock market. Yes. It got so big that they had to. They had to bring it in. There was no way around it. You know, and that's the thing, you know. There's some people they're still so tied that I mean, there's a friend of mine that he just picks anything that I say as an argument. It'll be just he's that kind of mentality. You know, and I don't do it to argue with people and stuff. I just try to, hey, you know, it's like because I know they have the means and the funds to kind of like, hey, this is a chance. Well, what do you get out of it? Well, the only thing I get out of it is that if I show you and you choose to use something like Kraken, then once you join, you don't have to really buy anything. Once you join, I get a chance of getting up to. I don't get the 300. I get up to 300. You know, a chance of up to 300 in free crypto. Just like when I first joined, they give you a chance of getting up to 3. And I got some coins. That's how I got started on Kraken. You know, I got I didn't have to buy anything every day. That was the only one that I know of. All these other ones, you have to buy to get the free 10 Bitcoin, you know, whatever, you know. I mean, when I got my Tangent wallet, you know, I had to buy the Tangent wallet and they guaranteed me 10 Bitcoin. I'm going to get those in a couple of weeks. But now I'm enrolled to get 5,000, I guess, or an iPhone 17. I don't like iPhone. I told my wife, if I win the iPhone, I'm gonna give it to you. She wants the iPhone, but I'm saying it's make believe and it's this. It's not real. Whatever. I'm a bro. How much money you have in your pocket? What do you mean? I'm how much money? Like just pull up. Just what do you have? Because he always has cash. He's one of those guys that always has cash. He's always got to have a couple hundreds, 50s. He's one of those guys, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying he's always got to have cash because he doesn't want to stop at the ATM and get money or use his card because he's super paranoid and stuff. And that's what I mean, bro. I said that's the thing. There you go. Do you know that dollar right there is not worth what it is? That dollar's not worth what it used to be worth. That dollar is just like a piece of paper. The same thing you're saying about cryptocurrency, but it's not a currency. It serves a purpose. Every crypto coin has its own purpose. And once you start learning that, I mean, I don't know everything. I'm learning a little bit. Like I just barely started learning what Ethereum is. It serves various purposes. That's how all these other coins started happening, and that's how they're coming out and stuff. But I'm not trying to fight. He got mad at me and said, I'm sorry, dude. I'm not pushing it on you. I'm just saying, it's like, it's almost like I'm pushing a new religion on these people sometimes. Their finances, it's same thing with my mom. I said, hey, by the way, this credit union right here, I'm okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just saying, this credit union right here, I know that, you started me with my credit union, but I'm just saying this credit union right here is pretty good, the rates and everything, but whatever. I know people hold on to their old ways. The Silk Road accepted Bitcoin for the first non-drug dealing website. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that not like that. There was a lot of things I wanted to buy online, and they only took Bitcoin. And I'm like, I didn't know how to because I didn't have access to Bitcoin to buy stuff, like stuff overseas. Um, I'm trying to think right now. No, not illegal stuff, not dark web stuff. Um, um, oh, camera equipment. Like I really got into like YouTube and stuff. I was trying to find deals on DJIs and stuff like that. So I was trying to buy them from overseas, but they wouldn't take dollars. They wouldn't take my credit card. They would only take crypto. They would only take Bitcoin. And I'm like, oh, I don't know how to do that, dude. I don't, it's like, you know, to me, it was kind of like the old days, like with eBay, it's like the trust thing, I'm going to send you crypto too at the same time. How am I going to make sure that I'm going to get the stuff too? You know what I mean? You know, just like on eBay, people will get ripped off, I don't know. But yeah, I know, Silk Road. It's crazy how that got so big, so, well, I mean, as big as it got. And that's good. That's good. Those are good to have. I was actually advised to do that. If you ever go by I was told, hey, if you ever like somewhere, just go to pawn shops, and just kind of ask them and check them out, man, and go and ask them for their old silver stuff. I don't know. I don't trust pawn shops for some reason, but you just got to know what you're buying, right? You know. I just make sure I look at the old quarters, like quarters, and like I make sure I've learned what to look for. So whenever I see quarters or coins, I look at coins, like see what they look like and look at online. I'm like, oh, that's not the one. Look good, but that's not the one. Yeah, but yeah, I'm thinking of actually buying some silver right now. And actually, now that you're talking about that, it's gone down too. That's another thing, bro, that went down, right? Let's see. Go on here. I can't check price on that because it's on that phone. that app. I'm gonna go on here on this one. Oh, I'm real itchy. Why? Well, dude, what the hell, dude? Why? I just asked Google, dude, the price of silver is. Silver went down to $60. What's the cost of an ounce of silver right now?
The current spot price for silver is around $64.50 to $65.50 per troy ounce. This price is lower than earlier record highs, but it's still much higher than historical averages. For financial advice, consult
Remember
a
when it
professional.
boomed earlier this year? It just like went crazy and like, oh, even silver. They pumped it up. And what? Gold almost went to 5,000 or dig up to 5,000. Did you really? I used to go to banks in the early 2000s when they had the free coin counting machine for money for all the coins in the machines. No. Huh. You just like, it was sort out through all the coins and get good stuff. What'd you find, by the way? Would you find like old like worth? What was like the most valuable coin you found? Not, I like the way you think. You think like a friend of mine. He was gonna do a live stream today and he didn't. I don't know what happened. Well, I call him a friend of mine. He's a friend of mine through YouTube. The silver and gold. Okay. And then just go right back and just like deposit that coin. That's pretty smart. Pretty smart. See if I can find a video on that thing. That thing. The JPUS. I think I did see a video. That's why I highlighted US. Okay. Stock news. So there you go. There it is. You don't mind if I listen to this, do you? Do I remember the lockdown? Yeah, dude. I was locked out in the Philippines, bro, in my apartment. We couldn't leave. Luckily, I had an apartment. My son was born in 2020, bro. He was born, and 4 days later, we were locked down in an apartment for like a couple months. Yeah, I remember the lockdown. What happened? I remember the shortest. Yeah, and I remember when I came back. Oh, we don't have change. We don't have change. And like they're keeping your change. Yeah, I remember that shit. I think the Feds got smart to so many people to bring their silver coins to the bank. Smart to get so many people to bring their silver coins. Yeah, dude. Yeah, Yeah, and then they got smart to like not give coins back and stuff. Like, oh, due to the shortage of the COVID, what the hell with like the coins had COVID too? Jesus, man. That thing was such a like freaking scam. Yeah, dude. That thing was such a scam, dude. They tried, man. They tried another one, dude. They're trying with that Henta. Yeah, dude. They didn't. They flopped. They're trying. Except it was by a little distraction about something. Well, I can't compare because I've never been to NYC convenience stores. But I'll tell you what. What I'll do is I'll go out today and I'll make some shorts. Since I think you do follow me now, and I'll make some shorts and compare prices, and you can see how much the gas is. Especially now, since they say that we had peace and we don't have peace, I'll do I'll stop by and do a comparison with gas prices and whatever. You know, I'll get my energy drink there. I'll show you what candy bars cost. I think candy bars like a Reese's. A Reese's with like two Reese's, 2 or 4 Reese's. I think it's about three and a half, something like that. Yeah. So yeah, the mini donuts and whatever stuff. Yeah, dude. I mean, it's expensive, bro. I mean, but New York's pretty expensive too. And I know that because my neighbor, my buddy, he just retired. He's a union fit or was still is whatever I guess union pipe fitter like I am. And but he's got to travel. He's got to travel to not New York, but he got to travel to Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts. Um, I think it was in upstate New York. I think, I'm not sure, but I've had other friends go to New York and stuff. But yeah, it's pretty expensive, dude. It's pretty expensive. California's just outrageous, man. I I would want to move out of here eventually. I mean, especially if my family ever comes here. If I ever get my family here, I would want to move them out of here, man. There's my folks are still around, and they're healthy and stuff. But if they're ever, not anytime soon, but I mean, if they're gone, it's it's too expensive, man. It's just I don't know. I'm not gonna be ignorant and go, oh, the crime and all this stuff. There's crime everywhere and shit and whatever. But I would want more, somewhere with more, slower pace, more family values type, conservative type, living type. What I'm saying that's what I would want my family be around. I would look for something like that. Right on. Oh, they would love you in the Philippines, and dude, that's what they eat. They eat a lot of white rice, some vegetables, a lot of fried stuff though. Ugh. That's one thing I can stand, dude, is the fried food, dude. Everything's fried over there. That's what was killing me over there. It was the food, actually, honestly. She tried her best, dude. I mean, I don't, but that was what was killing me. Actually, was the food. I couldn't eat too much of their stuff because I was like, I didn't mind eating it. It's just like it was just like unhealthy for me. I couldn't eat too much white rice because it'll raise my blood sugar, and then I couldn't eat like the regular home cooked stuff because it was in high sodium, or it would just give me like bad diarrhea, dude. I mean, dude, bad diarrhea. I was like, dude. So she did her best. She would buy canned corned beef, which was good. I didn't mind the corned beef. She could cook that up, but I guess it was really high in sodium that my feet and especially my left leg. I have a bad valve in my left leg. Would swell up like really bad, so bad, dude, that I was getting that thing. It was scary too, where you like would press. You know, I would press and like just stay indented. Oh, dude, it was like, yeah, dude, yeah, it was getting scary, man. My health was getting scary, and then, yeah, then certain medications I couldn't get anymore because I couldn't find them anymore for my blood pressure. All your fried rice or McDonald's, yeah, man. My boy then used to like eating rice. She used to force him to eat rice, and now he does. He learned that he's got to eat the rice to get full. So he's gonna get so much like meat, whatever it is, if it's chicken, if it's pork, fish, whatever, he's only gonna get so much. Even if he'll get an extra piece, but it's gonna be a big pile of rice. And like, dude, I hate it when she does this. She'll give him like a bowl of rice, and then some like top ramen, dude. Like, I'm like, oh, you can't do that, dude. Just double carbs, man. Like extra carbs, but whatever. He'll eat it. I mean, gets him full. Your wife's Asian too? All right, on, dude. Yeah, exactly, dude. Whatever she makes for dinner, I mean, I don't complain either, dude. Yeah, I don't complain, dude. When a woman cooks for me, dude, I don't complain, dude. And I eat it. I'm trying to think, dude. Have I ever had a woman that's never been a good cook? No, dude. You know why? Because that's the way they won me over, as you can tell. That's how they won me over. A lot of these women, that's how they won me over. They could cook, man. They won me over. Like, really? You like what I cook? Oh yeah, make. Oh yeah, you want more? Oh yeah, I like it. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, yeah. I had a Polish girlfriend, and she was American but Polish descent. And they used to make like her family used to make Polish like style food. Oh, it's good, dude. I like that. Especially when they had their festivals like on the holidays and stuff. Oh, dude, that's so good, man. The sausage was the best. That was my favorite. The sausage and everything, dude. Everything they made. The gawumpis and the pierogies. But the sausage was the best. In fact, I got to help her mother make it one day. So really, you help me? Yeah, I helped her. She was holding the casing, because she was older. So she was holding the casing, and I was like pumping. It was an old machine that I had to press it and like grind it and stuff. You know, so yeah, probably the same as me. I'll eat anything. Yeah, dude. We dude. Yeah, they she used to make mongo, mongo. It sounds weird, mongo, but basically it's just lentil soup. It's like a stew. It's real thick. It wasn't well. They make it watery so it's spread out, right? And it's like the poor man's food over there. Like when there's nothing to eat, just little bits of like maybe little bits of meat, little tiny little bit, but just like it's just that, and then mixed with rice. Oh, dude, it's like it tastes so good. Like he likes it. They're like even the sister-in-laws. Oh my god, he's. I'd be outside just can I have more? Oh, I eat like 3 bowls of it. It's like he likes it. I'm like, really? Like they're surprised. They're shocked. Oh, dude, I love it. My ex-wife's Filipino too, and she used to make that. It was one of my favorite things. And so when my current wife, Filipino also, she would make that. Yeah, it's good. My favorite food is beef tongue. Oh, tacos de lengua. Oh, dude, that's yeah, brother. Tacos de lengua. I know a lot of people. Ooh, but dude, it's just cow tongue, bro. It's cooked. It's not raw. It's a process. You have to cook it. Just it smells a little funny at first, but it's not bad. You just let it boil overnight, and then just take it out and just peel it off, and then just slice it, bro. slice it, or just chop it up, for the tacos. My preference is actually is just cut the slices, dude, and eat like sandwiches, man. Oh, do you ever had it in sandwiches? Ooh, forget about it, man. Get a nice roll, like a French roll or something, bro, and like put those in there. Oh, dude, try that next time. Even if it's chopped up, whatever, don't matter, dude. It's the same thing. If you make it homemade, by the way, I don't know. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. You have to peel off the membrane before you get to the meat. Yes, of course you do. Or you're gonna be chewing on this stuff forever. Just like the Rocky Mountain oysters. You ever had those before? I finally tried them out, man. It wasn't bad. Yeah. Tried them out at a restaurant. Where was it at? Where was I? I think I was in Nevada. I was in Nevada. I tried them out. They weren't bad. Rocky Mountain oysters. Yeah, make me hungry, dude. You made me think of that now. Make me hungry. I have to check my blood sugar now. I have it. I don't really like go for like medical, like and I've learned why because they never like move. You think, oh, you hear the great. There's a reason why these stocks are like penny stocks for medical stuff, you know. But there's some. I did jump on one, and it's like huge. Lily, it's 147 right now. Let me see what the stock for Abbott is. See, Fidelity joins Wall Street race to manage stablecoin reserves. See, I told you, dude. What were we just talking about that earlier? Or I was talking about it. Fidelity's gonna have his own coin too. I told you, man. Everybody's gonna have their own coin. I was telling my buddy. So what is everybody? Yeah, they're all gonna have their own coin, but pretty much it's only gonna for make payments through them. You know what I mean? They'll have their own coins, and then. But what I told him is, it's so he can make a payment like that. You know what I mean? As opposed to like, whoa, this is gonna take like 3 to 5 business days. No, you make a, you buy their stable coins, and then boom, the payment is like as soon as you push the button, the payment's done. Because even when you make a payment, transaction, yeah, the money's gonna go from here. I'll say paid on your phone, on your app, whatever. Excuse me, but it's still got to go through the you know to get to the other place. And I've noticed that when I send money from my transaction from here to send it to Venmo to go to whatever, and I say I use Venmo to when I send money to my wife, whatever overseas. I don't do it directly from my accounts. I haven't, that helps me out to have to go to Western Union or whatever. I don't like using my own accounts, so I use that. And then it's pretty much instant. What I use, but anyways, what's my favorite stock in the market? Without a doubt, I'll say Nvidia. I'll say Nvidia because I see so much potential. I think part of it is because I see so much potential. I like the product. I'm not a gamer, but I'm more into streaming. As far as like, yeah, I want to be a streamer online, but streaming meaning I used to like I've never had cable in like almost 20 years now. So I noticed the ones that had uh, Nvidia boxes for streaming devices to watch, stuff online was the ones that had the processors from Nvidia were the best, top of the line. Even though I had to pay $400 for it, as opposed to a Fire Stick. Now the Fire Sticks pretty much suck because they won't let you do that. So that was why I like Nvidia. The second one, and it's a close second, is ASML. That's what I like because they're nobody can do what they do so far yet. Other companies come close, but nobody yet. That's why. I had friends sending money from to Mexico from the USA in crypto 10 years ago instead of using Western Union. Yeah, I know. Yeah, because they had the means. A lot of people don't have means. I'm trying to get my wife into that. I'm trying to get because they have a stable coin. They have a failed PH right now. They have failed PH also. There is. I can't, but she can. So once there's a link where I can do that, I'll just do that. But I got to get her to open a bank account over there. And it's like it's kind of hard. She's got to have a career job. She already tried, but she's working on it. We got to work on that. So, or maybe when I work there permanently, I could do that. It'll make it easier actually for transactions, like you said. For transactions, it's going to make it a lot easier, you know. So we're working on it because when I was there, man, it was such a pain in the ass. It was yeah. We were trying to save from Western Union to like, okay, well, just deposit money to my bank account. So then I had to go to the ATMs. So let alone the fees was like, okay, don't worry about the fees. That's one thing. It was finding find an ATM. If it worked was one thing. Then, if it had money, was another thing. Then, how long the line was another thing. Also, I said, you know what? Forget this thing. There's got to be another way. So, yeah. So, I do like that thing with crypto. And I told my wife, hey, by the way, there is a thing in the Philippines. Really? It's like, so when I go back over there, I'm gonna dial in her brother because her brother is an IT guy. He's an IT guy. He, uh, he's an IT guy. He's really computer savvy and all that stuff. We had, you know, so. Yeah, well, there was a lot of people sending crypto back and forth. That was how a lot of money was getting, like, and Big Brother didn't like that. Big Brother didn't like that. They rather have, okay, Western Union, so we know how much money's going and where it's going and stuff like that. So, yeah. There's always a hidden agenda under, like, national security, too, you know what I mean? Read between the lines, huh, brother? Oh, man. I'm really getting hungry, but, yeah. My stomach's still just kind of jacked up right now. Crypto, crypto, crypto. I mentioned crypto so much. My dad's like, everything crypto, crypto. He just keeps on seeing crypto. Huh. Yeah, I better start looking at something. Fidelity joins Wall Street's race to manage stablecoin. I was just talking about this. Also, this is my buddy. I don't know if he'll get the story or not. Fidelity joins Wall Street's race to manage stablecoin reserves following the. Do you know how this all came about? How these banks or these like Circle and Tether, started getting these stable coins approved and stuff. It's interesting. I'm like, well, how, you know, and it's like, well, they're promising, they're getting the blessing from, you know, because they're picking up the debt. So technically, whoever picks up, let's say I buy $500 worth of stable coins. I just bought $500 worth of U.S. debt. Those coins. Yeah, pretty smart, eh? Yeah. Okay. Who's calling me now? So, Fidelity Investments. Sorry. Firm seeking a role from the fastest growing corners of digital assets, managing the reserves to back stable coins. The asset manager is launching a Fidelity Reserve digital fund, a money market fund designed for stablecoin user insure I can't pronounce things, man. Issuers. Man, dude. I gotta start reading more again. To help my pronunciation. I gotta read out loud. For stablecoin issuers and institutional investors under the reserve requirements established by the recent enacted Genius Act on Thursday, the launch comes just days after the State Street unveiled a similar product. The State Street Stablecoin Reserves Money Market Fund underscoring how traditional financial firms are increasingly competing for a market that could swell into the trillions of dollars of stablecoin become a larger part of the global financial system. Voila. Since the US dollar does nothing, stablecoins do the same thing. Yeah, pretty much, huh? Wolfkin, how you doing, buddy? Say hi. Thank you. I know, dude. I thought it was something until I read up and like started like, oh, wait a minute, bro. It's just a digital dollar, basically. That's what it's approved. When they talk about like, oh, it's like, okay. But if I can convince them, if I convince like people like my friend, like, hey, by the way, it's like, well, here's a dollar, bro. You're saying the cryptocurrency is no good, but here's proof. Here's a dollar, and here's a digital dollar. It's good. You believe me now? What's your argument? Hold on, I'm gonna put my glasses to read your message. Sorry. I see real blurry now, guys. You're going on a road trip, right on. Where to? Where are you going to? Tell us. I ventured cryptocurrency to Citizens Banks in 2020, and they didn't want any part of it. And where are they at now? How you doing, Hawk? Where's Citizens Bank at now with that? They're gonna have theirs pretty soon. Oklahoma? All right, on. So you're going to Oklahoma from where? Are you flying or are you driving? Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Ahmed. Ah. Hmm. It's so funny. All these off the wall apps. We're talking about coins and stuff, and that's what they do basically. They you hold stable coins. They this one I was just watching right now. It's called Nuke Nuka. See, it's gonna be the same because now it comes out as the reader. It's not the reader one. Now I'm not gonna find it. No, I'm not gonna find it. I found it by accident somehow. Oh well, it wasn't meant to be. But they guarantee like seven and a half APR or APY. I mean, but I was reading up, and it's like basically you just hold stable coins. It doesn't tell you all that. After you join, it's what it is. Hamas boy, what are you talking about, brother? uh, It's the second time people get on here that know Ahmad. That's kind of weird. Oh, you're talking to Ahmad? Hey, Hamas boy, how did you get on my live and you know Ahmad? I mean, yesterday somebody else like knew Ahmad also. That's kind of interesting. So I have 8 gold medals in school. Ahmad, how old are you, by the way? If you don't mind me asking. Well, I would say you're a loser, bro. Come on, dude. I'm 55. Does that make me a loser? Don't answer that. Okay, so you're going to school right now. What are you going to school for? If you don't mind me asking. So now let me ask the questions. I worked till 34, then kicked out due to replacement by AI. Well, see, that's the habit. That's not your fault. Okay, so you're going to school for what now? That's going to happen to a lot of people, so don't feel bad. That's happening. You're in India, right? So yeah, that happens. That's going to happen to a lot of people. Trust me, dude. Were you working at a call center or something like that? Some type of job like that? Because that's going to happen everywhere, bro. Trust me. I'm preparing for a permanent job exam. Okay, well there you go. Then it's not a bad thing. You're investing. So do what you gotta do, brother. I'm sorry you got kicked out. I hope you can find a place where you can live. You know? I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I can't speak for your parents. I'm kind of be in the same boat as you. The thing is that I own the house that someone wants to kick me out of. Huh. I really need to see the dentist, man, bad. Well, better get on it, brother. If you failed 2 exams, that's not good. I get a headache like you wouldn't believe right now, man. That's from most loved kid to most hated. Well, I'm sorry, dude. I know you're trying. I know you're trying, brother. I know you're trying. I believe you, but and the fight was about because you don't have a job right now. You're not bringing in money to the house. If I'm getting that correct. I just have a pair of clothes and I go to the library. People laugh at me. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, brother. So, what's this job that you're trying to prepare for, by the way, if you don't mind me asking? There's a lot of people that are going to lose their jobs here, too, because of AI. Believe me. Oh, God. Government job? Okay. How confident do you feel about passing the next exam again now? What happens if you don't pass the exam this time? Will you get kicked out of the school or the training? I sit with kids half my age in the library. Yeah, you mentioned going to 50 at 55, but I went back to school, bro. That's gonna be me, pretty much, probably. So, yeah. It's too late for that, bro. You're born now, so you're just gonna have to deal with life, brother. Sorry, I'm putting some other way, man. Just we all have issues and problems, man. I got my own shit to deal with, man, and fucking sometimes life gets tough, brother. I mean, Yeah, it can be, but you know what? You, you can just sit and dwell on it, or you can just kind of just keep moving forward, man. You know what I mean? And you just sit there, just kind of like, just kind of feel sorry for yourself, and like, or you just kind of like, just hey, I gotta like, keep trying, man. You gotta just, you know what I mean? That's all I can tell you, brother. I don't know. I don't know what else to say to you. My shit gets bad too sometimes, man. I don't like the situation I'm in, man. I don't like the situation I'm in. Trust me, believe me, I do not like the situation I'm in, man. I really wish things were, but you can't wish it away. You just got to do it, And I don't talk about my stuff too much. Trust me, there's a lot of things that happen, like where I'm at, and how I'm at, and stuff, and I don't talk about it just because it's just, I just don't.
Step into a new era of wealth. Discover Nexo, the premier digital wealth platform. Now in the U.S., explore advanced tools to manage your wealth.
Yeah, it could happen, brother, but I mean,
assets, borrow against them without selling. Trade a wide range of assets.
we all have to deal with things in our own way. I just remember the name of it, and it's exactly the same like Nexus. So it is the same company, I bet you.
You're looking at the ultimate investing mystery box. We have a company sitting on an $87 million liquid treasury of crypto and cash, literally on the verge of a $1 billion AI data center deal, and yet it is trapped in a financial death spiral. So, how does a business with that much raw, tangible wealth end up trading like it's headed straight for
It looks
bankruptcy?
just like the
company
next
is
one.
Hyperscale Data, ticker symbol GPUS. On paper, they hold physical, tangible assets representing over 70% of their entire public market capitalization. But underneath that staggering physical wealth, you've got an Altman Z-score screaming deep distress and a massive 118% equity overhang. It's an unbelievable market.
Well, you found me here, bro.
Exactly
So I'm always here, man.
So let's get into the numbers and figure out what's really going on here. Section 1, the billion-dollar facade. To really understand this crazy valuation gap, we've got to look at what hyperscale data actually does. Because on the surface, the story is incredibly compelling. Right now, they're attempting a massive fundamental business pivot. They operate this giant
it's Nexo. It's the same company, bro.
Data center campus up in Dalgaziak,
Nexo and
Historically,
Nook.
this facility was just used for commodity Bitcoin mining, but now they're phasing that out entirely to become a pure-play AI infrastructure operator. You see, the total addressable market for AI co-location is absolutely exploding, but the real bottleneck for everyone right now is access to power. That is Hyperscale's primary theoretical moat. They already possess a site capable of 300 megawatts. If you're an AI client, it is
We
way
find
faster
monsters,
to
and we
lease
have to get away
existing
from those people.
infrastructure than to try and build a brand new data center from scratch. So as of June 2026, they entered advanced negotiations for a 20-year master services agreement, an MSA, to lease 20 megawatts of critical power capacity. That initial deal alone is projected to bring in over $1 billion in cumulative revenue, and they have plans to expand up to 52 megawatts, which would push that contract value up to roughly $2.5 billion. Their target customers? High compute AI startups and specialized tech firms like Omnipresent Robotics. Now, a really important clarification here. Despite their stock ticker being GPUS, they don't actually manufacture GPUs. No way. They operate purely as a co-location and GPU as a service provider. They lease physical rack space, power, cooling, and third-party hardware like NVIDIA H100s. Why go with that instead of, say, Amazon Web Services? It comes down to getting dedicated physical hardware, specialized liquid cooling, and theoretically lower long-term
Just,
compute
you
costs
know,
for those heavy
I don't know what to
continuous
do. Just
AI
deal with it, or
workloads.
just kind of
If
like
they pull this pivot off,
leave the
their economic
house,
engine
or
totally
just,
transforms
you know,
from volatile crypto
black them
mining
out.
into highly predictable, recurring enterprise revenue. And what makes this story so alluring to a lot of retail investors is that they actually have the war chest to back it up. As of June 14, 2026, their balance sheet boasts a combined liquid treasury of $87.1 million. We're talking over 713 Bitcoin, valued at almost $47 million, plus another $40.2 million in cash, and, oh yeah, 10,000 ounces of silver just sitting there. Just let that sink in for a second. Depending on where their common stock market cap fluctuates on any given day, this liquid treasury alone makes up more than 70%
everyday
of their
users to
total
tap.
public valuation. That is a massive, tangible floor. So, with $1 billion AI pipeline and an $87 million crypto and cash treasury, what exactly is the catch? Well, a quick look at their track record reveals a highly turbulent history. Since 2018, this company has gone through 5 different corporate rebrands. They went from Digital Power Corp to DPW Holdings, then to Alt Global, then BitNile, Alt Alliance, and finally here we are at Hyperscale Data. It's just a constant history of shifting identities and fragmented holding company strategies. At various points, they were doing everything from crane rentals to running hotels, and historically, none of these detours have managed to generate sustainable operating cash flows. Section 2, the valuation disconnect. This brings us straight to the bear case, because if the AI headline and the Bitcoin treasury are really so good, what is the market seeing that some investors might be completely missing? Well, the answer is found when we look under the hood at the actual financial engine of the business. Let's look at their preliminary results for the first quarter of 2026, which they announced in late May 2026. At first glance, the headline number looks absolutely incredible. They reported consolidated revenue of approximately $44 million. That's a massive 76% year-over-year growth rate compared to Q1 of 2025. It easily beat analysts' top-line estimates. But when you look past that flashy revenue headline and scroll down to the bottom line, the reality is pretty grim. The operating engine is burning cash at a really alarming rate. They suffered an EBITDA loss of
So because of them, you didn't get married, huh?
and a staggering net loss of $29.9 million for the quarter.
Got
That
it.
severely missed Wall Street's bottom line expectations. During the earnings call, management tried to frame this as just a necessary transition period. They emphasize how capital intensive it is to build out liquid cooling for these AI servers. But here's the problem. They provided very little concrete guidance on exactly when this massive cash burn is going to stabilize. Analysts were left highly skeptical about their actual runway. And the market? It reacted exactly how you'd expect, sending the stock sliding downward as price targets were broadly revised lower across the board. And you know that 76% growth number? We have to deliberately deconstruct that growth illusion right here. When you actually break down the Q1 revenue sources...
Shot on scene. On scene. Oh my God. Help that boy!
It was not driven by recurring core AI operations. It was a mirage.
Help him, somebody. Shit got real out here in New York City, y'all. We live on fucking Linux.
Great, right? Cash in the door. But it's the repayment mechanism that creates this toxic downward feedback loop. They repay this advance by issuing Class A common stock at a steep discount. Specifically, they issue it at 90% of the lowest daily volume weighted average price over a 5-day period, subject to a floor of just 10 cents per share. Basically, this means the lower the stock price goes, the more shares they have to issue just to pay back the exact same amount of debt. It relentlessly drives the price straight toward that 10-cent floor. And by the way, if you like deep evidence-based stock breakdown, your actual runway. And the market? It reacted exactly how you'd expect, sending the stock sliding downward as price targets were broadly revised lower across the board. And you know that 76% growth number? We have to deliberately deconstruct that growth illusion right here. When you actually break down the Q1 revenue sources, nearly half of it came from one-off, non-recurring events, basically one-time cash grabs. $10 million came from a bankruptcy recovery for Gresham Worldwide. Another $10 million came from a one-time litigation settlement. The rest of it? Generated by those legacy operations we talked about. A 11 million from crane rentals, 5 million from crypto mining, and 4 million from hotel and real estate. So that explosive top-line growth, it was not driven by recurring core AI operations. It was a mirage, heavily padded by legal settlements and recoveries. Section 3, the dilution engine. So the obvious question you should be asking right now is, how exactly do you fund massive, incredibly capital-intensive AI data center expansions when your operating cash flow is deeply negative? The dark answer is simple. You dilute. On June 11, 2026, the company entered into a prepaid advance agreement with Yorkville. They received a $15.96 million advance. That sounds great, right? Cash in the door? But it's the repayment mechanism that creates this toxic downward feedback loop. They repay this advance by issuing Class A common stock at a steep discount. Specifically, they issue it at 90% of the lowest daily volume-weighted average price over a 5-day period, subject to a floor of just 10 cents per share. Basically, this means the lower the stock price goes, the more shares they have to issue just to pay back the exact same amount of debt. It relentlessly drives the price straight toward that 10-cent floor. And by the way, if you like deep, evidence-based stock breakdowns like this, make sure you're subscribed. But here's the thing. The Yorkville deal is really just the tip of the iceberg. I want to take a moment and slowly walk through this capital structure overhang, because this right here is where the real threat lies for everyday investors. Just look at the sheer volume of impending dilution coming from priority claim preferred shares. You have Series C, Series G, and Series H preferred shares, plus senior convertible notes. And guess what? These instruments are largely held by insiders, including Executive Chairman Milton Tunnell III. Because these are cumulative preferred shares, they require regular, ongoing cash dividends. That means they act like a vacuum, constantly draining the company's cash reserves before common shareholders ever get to see a single dime of value. If all of these priority instruments were fully converted into common stock tomorrow, it would equal 518.8 million equivalent shares hanging over the market. Let me put that in perspective. That represents a catastrophic 118.5% dilution of the existing common share base. It is a massive wall of paper just waiting to hit the market and crush the stock price. Section 4, Quality Scorecard. Let's take a step back and synthesize all of this raw data into a clear qualitative scorecard of their overall business health. When we lay it out like this, the contrast is incredibly stark. On one hand, their asset backing is genuinely good. You simply cannot ignore an $87 million liquid treasury of cash and Bitcoin just sitting there on the balance sheet. It's real value. However, you have to weigh that against the rest of the board. Their government score is poor. Why? Because insiders control a massive block of the voting power, and they continue to extract high executive compensation despite continuous, massive operating losses. This directly ties into their average strategic clarity rating. I mean, a governance structure that allowed 5 different corporate rebranded detours into crane rentals and hotels, that really doesn't inspire a lot of long-term operational confidence. But the absolutely crucial takeaway here is the interplay between the assets and the liabilities. Balance sheet health is very poor and dilution risk is severe. In the eyes of institutional capital, that severe dilution risk completely overrides the good asset backing. The tangible asset for sure, but the corporate structure built around them is highly toxic, which makes their long-term viability highly precarious. The research behind this video was created using Flash by StockSentinel.ai. You can generate deep research reports like this one for any public company in the world completely free at flash.stocksentinel.ai. The core company research is free. If you want an ongoing investing edge, Flash has a premium feature called Best Ideas Now. Every week it surfaces the highest conviction ideas across 3 investor styles: long-term compounders, hidden gems, and dividend hunters. Portfolio Watch monitors your portfolio and flags important changes. Insider IQ tracks meaningful insider buying activity worldwide. You'll see a QR code in the bottom right of this video.
All right, dude.
Scan it to
I'm gonna eat
download the Flash
breakfast,
app
dude.
and try it
Peace out.
yourself.
Thank you.
Or access Flash on the web at flash.stocksentinel.ai.